Can Made in India challenge Made in China? Apple CEO Tim Cook expressed his excitement about India as a market and its potential for manufacturing expansion during a financial conference call in February. Apple plans to manufacture a quarter of its iPhones in India by 2025 and half of them by 2027. However, one of Apple's main suppliers, Wistron, announced its withdrawal from India, and local conglomerate Tata Group is set to take over Wistron's production responsibilities. India is still considered one of the most challenging countries to do business in according to the World Bank's rankings. Xiaomi, a Chinese company, has also been reportedly detained by Indian law enforcement for 4.8 billion Indian rupees, the largest seizure in India to date. Will Xiaomi's 4.8 billion be confiscated? Indian law enforcement agencies have accused Xiaomi of violating India's Foreign Exchange Management Act by illegally remitting funds to foreign entities through impersonating royalty payments. The agency has seized 55.51 billion Indian rupees, $748 million, in Xiaomi's bank accounts, with the company being notified by the authorities. Xiaomi has responded that its business in India complies with local laws and regulations. In April 2022, Indian financial crime authorities seized Xiaomi's assets in India after discovering that Xiaomi Technology India had transferred foreign currency to Xiaomi Group and two other foreign entities. The dispute stems from a royalty payment controversy, with the Indian government alleging that Xiaomi paid royalties to foreign entities through illegal remittance. Has India become a graveyard for foreign companies? Several Chinese smartphone companies, including Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo, are facing regulatory scrutiny and penalties in India for violating tax laws. Oppo was accused of evading 43.9 billion Indian rupees, $588 million, in taxes by misusing tax exemptions on phone components and not including royalty payments in the import transaction value. Vivo's 119 bank accounts in India were frozen, with the company accused of transferring 624.76 billion Indian rupees, $8.5 billion, to China and other countries to evade taxes. India has also imposed penalties on other foreign companies, such as Microsoft, IBM, and Samsung, for tax violations. India has been referred to as a graveyard for foreign companies due to the high standards and selective enforcement of its laws. These factors have contributed to India's ranking as one of the most challenging countries to do business in the World Bank's 2020 Ease of Doing Business report. The Indian market is difficult to give up or sever ties with. Despite India's lack of a complete smartphone industry chain, many foreign companies, especially domestic phone manufacturers, still consider India an important overseas market and have made long-term plans and layouts. India's vast population and young demographic structure are guarantees for future consumption growth. India's Made in India plan, launched by the Modi government in 2014, aims to increase the share of manufacturing in India's GDP from 15% to 25%. The policy, which has been stepped up over time, has prompted foreign enterprises to gradually transfer their production to India. By 2021, Chinese smartphone companies have invested over $30 billion in India and established more than 200 factories, creating over 500,000 jobs. As a result, Chinese brands such as Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo have dominated the Indian smartphone market, while local Indian brands have largely exited the market. The ambition of Made in India. India has been implementing policies to strengthen its domestic manufacturing industry since 2020. The Production-Linked Incentive (PLI) scheme was launched to support the production of 14 crucial industries, including semiconductors, electronics, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and automobiles, with most of the industries heavily dependent on Chinese manufacturing. India approved an incentive plan worth around $10 billion to attract global semiconductor manufacturers to make India their production base and create a global center for electronic system design and production to compete with China and Vietnam in the global smartphone production market. India is targeting a domestic electronic manufacturing industry output of $300 billion by the 2025 to 2026 financial year, with $70 to $80 billion worth of semiconductor products to be consumed. The Indian government is increasing efforts to attract investment to improve the domestic industry chain, but it has become less friendly to Chinese companies. In addition, the Indian government has recently demanded that Chinese mobile phone brands operating in India appoint Indian executives to high-level positions and outsource contract manufacturing to Indian companies. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow the Eli CN News channel.